What's up guys, it's me HotA, and today I wanted to bring you a slight update for the Whirlwind build for Season 12. Now, the build itself, it's not gonna change much. The basic build, it's still gonna be the same. I'm gonna link the video guide that I had for last season, because that's still completely up to date, with the exception of the sanctifications, of course. What I want to talk about in this video is the build that you likely will be using to handle any sort of T5 content. For those that are not aware, it's not actually called T5 content, it's gonna be the bloody sigils, the bloody hordes, stuff like that. Those will be really hard, the bloody bosses as well. Those are supposedly gonna be really hard, and they were on the PTR. Sadly, I don't have footage of using the build I'm gonna be talking about today on the PTR, even though I tested it. I must have forgotten to record it, or I don't know, I did something bad with the recording, I don't have it currently. I put the test here together, at least that so you can see that the build can survive, because we'll be playing with Selig. Now, if you played last season, you might be aware that the Selig, you needed 2 Selig to survive. Well, that was not actually the case. I'm gonna cover how you do it without the Selig, but as you can see here, in this example, I'm doing a 120. We'll never be doing a 120 on live, on possibly any bar build. I don't even think lunging is gonna get to 120 this season. And as you can see, it can survive just fine. I think I showed the gear there. You can see I don't have any Selig sanctified. I just put like a live presentation on the live because I don't have access to the PTR anymore, right? And as you can see, I'm only using 1 Selig and it's still surviving. I only die when I stop, you know, actually generating resource and show you the gear. That's the only time I die. That build is still incredibly tanky. Now, let's get on how that works, and this is quite the important part. I'm gonna cover even before we cover how the build plays, right? As you can see here, if you go here to my guide on max roll, there's a big red juicy thing here on the variant. This is gonna be the push variant. The mythic variant is still gonna be more than strong enough to handle any content, even T5 content, but it's gonna be the difference between you doing it in 30 seconds or doing it in 5-6 seconds, right? So most of you, whenever you're handling T5 content, should probably go onto the push build, because for example, the bloody sigils are supposedly gonna be pit 100 level, which should be something we'd already be using the push build for. It's just how it handles here. For speed, the mythic one is way better. For damage, however, you have to go this one. Anyway, the big red juicy thing in the guide here, right? To be able to use Metal Art of Selig, you must remove all possible maximum life. And when we say all possible maximum life, we mean all of it. For example, look at the Paragon. The only life I take, it's here, because I'm forced to, right? I either take life here or here, and here I have to. This is the least life you can get. The other side gives you 8, right? You have to take that life, and you also take some life here for damage. You don't need to take this one. As you can see, I go all the way around here just to avoid this single life node, right? You don't have to take this one, but you can survive it. You can survive with this, and it's not that much life, and you can still survive, and it's a bit more damage, so I took it. You don't have to, but anyway, as I say here, Paragons, node you pass over are the only ones you take, so this one down here and that one you take a bit for Fury, right? And Crown Evolution, because Crown Evolution is busted. It was already really strong before, now it's just busted. The maximum life there, just try to get the lowest roll you can. It is what it is, right? Now, the thing with Metal Art of Selig that we're doing in all of these for is because even though the text, as you can see, does not say anything about, you know, the less life you have, the less damage you take, that's just kind of how it's working, intended or not. Basically, it's just whenever you take damage, it checks your life and then applies, let's say you're gonna take, I don't know, 20% damage, right? Then it takes that into your life and then reflects that into... It's weird how it's working, okay? I'm probably not even explaining it right. At the end of the day, the less life you have, the least damage you take, so you will not be taking Imposing Presence either. You also, as you can see here on the gear for this variant, you are taking no life whatsoever, at all. No life in any piece of gear except Crown Evolution, right? Forget even about using Grandfather, it's impossible, right? Anyway, let's actually get into how the build works, right? Quite simple. You spin around, it's still the same, it's back tech, right? You can see here. You just spin around with Whirlwind for 3 to 4 seconds, and then you smack Hammer of the Ancients down every now and again to explode the earthquakes and get these massive buffs that you can see here. You gain 100% Fury generation, which is amazing, and you get not 100% Fury. The tooltip is wrong. It's not the max roll thing, by the way. It's actually wrong in the game. You just get 100% base Fury, right? So instead of running around with, let's say, 300, you now have 400 if you have all the 10 stacks up. And you must keep these stacks up, not only for the damage of the 100% Fury, but the resource generation is really important when you're dealing with Crown Evolution, so make sure to keep it up as much as you can. The other thing is, you're gonna be proccing, you have Igni here, every 3 point something seconds, it's gonna fill up, and you're gonna use HotA. You should time the HotA with this to get overpower, that way you proc things like Warpath, and you proc the HotA passive to get 40% more damage. HotA is just a support skill, Whirlwind is used to generate the earthquakes with back tech, and HotA is used as a support skill to detonate them and get a bunch of buffs. Other than that, Wrath of Berserker to group, Ground Stomp also to group, and especially to generate resource. Let's say you're walking out of town, just smack your feet on the ground to make sure you have some resource so you don't just fall over, right? If you have 0 resource, you get hit, you die, because you only have like 200 HP or something, right? Make sure you have that. One thing I do want to point out here, as you can see, we're only running 2 mythics, we don't run any others. We are running all these 3 uniques, they are really good, a lot of maximum resource. Ramaladnis, of course, since you're playing the league, it's really good. Kind of the whole reason the league actually gives us a lot of damage. Sabra, really good. All the earthquake aspects, as you can see here. Make sure, right, I can't stress this enough, on all variants of this build, to get GA and Masterwork, that chance of earthquakes cast twice, right? And duration, of course, really important as well. As you can see, all the earthquake aspects are here, all of them, all 3 of them. We're also taking here Vehement Brawler. This helps a bit with cooldown. You can take what's the name? Berserk, Battle Mad. If you want, it's not Battle Mad actually. It's the one that gives you berserking and gives you 30% damage, gives you berserking, makes it cost 3 Fury per second. Whatever, you can take that one. Or alternatively, because currently we only have, I want to say 70% uptime on our shouts, maybe slightly less. If you want to have 100% uptime on shouts, you can take Bolt Shifting, alright? You do have the option to take Bolt Shifting here. However, it is less damage and you can still survive without it. If you feel like you're dying whenever it goes off cooldown, just take the Bolt Shifting, lose a bit of damage, but you'll survive. And honestly, you probably don't need this much damage. I was killing bosses on PTR, and I was consistently killing them in 10 seconds, the T5 ones, right? T5 ones are really hard. I don't think they were, at least the loot they had on PTR, it was not worth it, but you are able to kill them in 10 seconds. The most important thing, you don't even care about the bosses. The reason you might want to run this build is for the Butcher Hordes. The T5 Butcher Hordes are insane, and I mean insane XP wise. They are really good, and that's kind of the reason you might want to play this build over the general one, the mythic one. Another thing, as you can see, Pure Whirlwind is back. Pure Whirlwind is actually very close to this mythic earthquake variant. It's okay, like you can see here, roughly 10 pits behind. If you get really good gear, the thing with Pure Whirlwind is that it's really gear reliant. If you get really good gear, you might, you know, put it down to 5 pits behind, but it's still behind Earthquake Whirlwind, and we're not even talking about the push variant, right? I will potentially have like a variant here if the Doom collab is only like a 200 sword. I might bring the Berserk collab variation of the build I had, so you can play around with a sword. Again, that's not gonna be even remotely good for T5, but for T4 content it will be more than good enough. So if you wanna have fun with the skin, I'll probably have a variant here if it's needed. If you have multiple weapons there, well, you don't need it anymore, right? Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to cover on the build I want to talk about. I'll have the link down below as well. I'll also have the link to the other guide, which is completely up to date, the one for Season 11, which covers the Mythic, Ancestral and Starter, if you need help with that. If you already know the build quite well, just use the written guide and jump into the push whenever you can. This build, unlike the previous push version, it's quite easy to play. Again, you just spin, you use your tools to group, and you just spin, bonk every 3 to 4 seconds, spin, bonk, spin, bonk, right? It's basically, it's close to the Whirlwind auto we had in Season 4, but it's mostly Whirlwind. You can't, like, whenever you're pushing with Earthquakes, you can't get away from HotA, especially now. I don't know what they did to it, they just gave it insane buffs, this thing was way too insane. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna be live on Twitch later today, playing the build. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna start Paladin or Barb this season, because I wanna start Barb on Season 13 for the expansion. So I might just start Paladin this one, just to make sure I'm accustomed to the builds. I'll be playing this build, if not today, if I don't start with it. I'll be playing it tomorrow, because Paladin is still stronger, so it's probably easier for me to get all the gear, all the mythics I need to actually get this setup going. We'll see. I'm gonna be live on Twitch anyway. For Diablo, I'm also gonna be live on the YouTube if you wanna see. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that you enjoyed this build and you have fun with it. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Diablo 4 content, especially Barbarian and Paladin. Even I'm not gonna be playing Warlock whenever the season comes out, the expansion. Maybe down the line I'll give it a go just to see, but it's not my thing. So yeah, I'm a strength only kind of guy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.